My friend Mark DeRosa wants to make a statement.
I don't want to necessarily have to make like this huge statement, but I feel like we've been given a platform working here as former players to kind of, we have to have an opinion one way or the other. And I hate when like things like the Tim Anderson thing, it happens and we're sitting up here trying to play both sides of the fence. And I went home yesterday and I was like stewing about it.
Still?
Yeah, I was. Not at Tim Anderson, just the whole idea of what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Okay? So I want to call for my first soapbox of the year, and I'm going to come with what I believe to be.
Okay.
I'm going to speak for what I believe to be.
From the heart.
From the heart for about 99% of guys who ever put on a big league uniform.
Thank you, Jordan.
Okay? Okay? You hear me talk a lot about taking stock. Every night I brush my teeth, I kind of take stock.
Do you want the American flag?
No, I don't need the American flag. I kind of take stock of where I am on the totem pole of life.
Okay.
Okay? I feel like I know the game pretty good. Played it a long time, know how hard it is to get to the big leagues, stay, be asked to produce, be asked to ride pine, be asked to study pitchers, study coaches, study trainers. I've seen the game from a lot of different angles, okay? So I feel like I want to represent the former players and what I believe to be about 90% of current players. See, I get it, Al. We're going to have Whit Merrifield come on, and we're going to break down and do an awesome skybox. And I read a bunch of articles on him last night. And I kept coming back to two words in every article about this kid. It was level-headed and humble, okay? I'm in on the swag. I'm in on the personality. I'm in on the charisma. I think it's what makes the clubhouse and teams successful. But at the end of the day, at the core of it, I want you to be level-headed and humble. I've met Tim Anderson. He came in here. He was level-headed and humble, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ralph Lowe?
Yeah.
He was awesome.
He was great.
Okay? So he knows how hard it is to get to the big leagues. He's finding out how hard it is to stay in the big leagues. He's gotten off to a hot start. But I have a guy right here that I didn't play with that busted his tail every time, competed, respected the game, respected the way he went about it. And I'm here to tell you, America, whoever's listening, no, get Eddie Alstrom off, all right? Get him off. That if Tim Anderson flipped his bat on Al Leiter like that, he would have 99 out of 100 guys' blessing to undress Tim Anderson the next time he came up. And if people have a problem with that, I have a problem with that. I'm in on let the kids play, but can someone tell the entire, if we're gonna change everything, if we're going that route, then can someone tell the players to all back each other? Because I get some guys on Twitter saying, I dig it. I get some guys on Twitter saying, I hate it. So if the moniker is we're gonna change, and we're gonna let these kids play, and Ken Griffey Jr. hat backwards, then all the players need to be on board. And there needs to be stiffer punishments for throwing at someone, throwing behind them. Like, the lines are completely blurred right now. And I feel like Tim Anderson should have gotten hit in the tuchus and walked to first. He should have known it was coming. And as a former player, we don't want to sit here and sound old school, archaic, whatever the word is, the machismo thing. It's not about machismo. It's about respect for how hard it is to get here, stay here, grind here. Bottom line, Paul Konerko, Game 2, 2005 World Series, you hit a grand slam, you want to come out and dip that bat in gold? I'm in. Pasednik, walk-off game, 2005 World Series, dip it in gold. I'm in. Throw it through old Comiskey. It's guaranteed rate now, whatever.
I feel attacked. Why are you bringing up 2000?
But April 15th, second or third inning, to take your bat and chuck it like that, you're getting drilled. I'm sorry.
If I can change.
No, it ain't about, I'm not being honest, because you walk by and it's like, let the kids play. Well, what do you want? Is it going to become a Vegas-like show? Is that where we're going? Because the NFL's only 16 weeks long. We can blow it up however we want. I'm not coming at you, Robert. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I felt obligated. Millar went at it. A bunch of guys, and I sat there and I stewed about it last night. I like Tim Anderson, but as a former player, he's getting drilled. And until we come up with all the Players Association and MLB buying in, we're going to be way more flashy and showy, then this stuff's still going to happen. And it shouldn't be viewed as archaic.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
No, I just wanted to, we go back and forth on it. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Listen, yes. All right, so I'm going to just get to the competitive nature of what baseball is all about. And I think the misnomer is, as a result of it not being a contact sport with respect to hockey and football specifically, where you're actually hitting guys. Lauren, take this baseball. How heavy is it?
Not very heavy.
5.7 ounces. 5 ounces. It's a little over 5 ounces. And is it hard? Okay, so there's a danger to the essence of our sport. And I was taught very early from Billy Martin and even Lou Piniella that there's an ownership of the plate. And I'm not going back to the 60s or the 70s. I love what Kevin Millar said because he retired 2010. He's not an old geezer. It wasn't that long ago. When did you retire?
13.
Okay, so you're fresh out of the game. I'm out at 06. So we're not going back to Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale and those guys where there was a half a plate that you owned. But this ball, it hurts. So there's an essence of danger to the sport. If there's pitching staff or a pitcher that understands the importance of where you throw it and how you can intimidate without being a headhunter, a la some of the guys in the past that we knew of, Roger Clemens and others that owned the plate, there's a certain element. And you see and hear athletes, NBA, NFL, big, strong, muscly guys, they're scared to death to stand in a box and face a major league pitcher throwing 95 miles an hour. So that essence creates the mindset of whether you will dominate or not with respect to, does a hitter have any kind of respect that you have ability to command a baseball? And I'm getting to a point. My point is, when you throw and there's danger area and you throw inside, you have to be able to let hitters know that you're in the box. And there's a level of competitiveness that is derived from all of this. Whether we're playing chess, checkers, Scrabble, or something with a 5.7 ounce baseball, that there's a dangerous element to it. You're going to get emotion. And when I'm standing on the mound, and whoever it is, pick your guy, and he hits a home run, and I left it out over the plate, and it was a mistake, and he whacks it, and then I got to watch him do a pirouette and do whatever else. I'm emotionally bothered by that. So if you want to eliminate feelings and emotions for all of these athletes, there's a heartbeat, there's sweat, there's tears, and all of that. You're going to get this because somebody, they happen to be Keller and the Royals, but it'll be somebody else next week.
Yeah,
it'll be somebody else
exactly.
next week. So this is just an example of blue and black jerseys right now. But it's everybody. And to just say, let the kids play, D-Row's right. If there's going to be some sort of letter that's written down, say, hey guys, we're trying to get cool. We want the young kids in America to start, watching more. So here's the deal. If you give up a home run, the guys are allowed to do pirouettes, they're allowed to do handstands, they're allowed to do somersaults, whatever they want, because it's cool. Because there's little kids out there that think it's cool. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm going to try to reconfigure my brain to not be emotionally invested of throwing this ball that I have to command. I threw in a lot. Guys thought I was throwing on purpose. I wasn't. I commanded the inside part of the plate. I had uncomfortable at-bats. Guys said, God, it's an uncomfortable at-bat. Yeah, because I knew that. I didn't want you to get in there and, this wasn't Bob Gibson where you take a swing or you dig in. Like, all of that. I'm not going there. But there's that essence of it. And there is an emotion to it. Yeah, a hitter gets mad, vice versa. And that's part of it. But to just say that this is okay, it's not going to go away.
You're talking about unwritten rules. Can I show you something on Twitter from Major League Baseball's Twitter handle? Keep doing your thing, Tim Anderson.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
Hashtag let the kids play. Wait, there's more.
Well,
I'm going to be very specific with Tim Anderson, and yes, it was in the second inning on April 15th or third inning, whatever it was. There are moments where you just get into the emotion. I pitched in the game in 1993. Joe Carter hit a walk-off home run in the World Series. Yeah. If he did cartwheels all the way around, I think the Phillies marginally would understand. Maybe not next year in Clearwater and Dunedin, but there are different times that really matter. The Jose Bautista thing, where that was. If you were watching that game when he hit that home run, that was like explosion. Like, I get that. Don't take away emotions of like what Tim Anderson, but there is some sort of consequence to your behavior. Because there's a pitching coach, there's a manager, there's somebody else that doesn't like that, or the guy on the bump is like, I don't like that.
But what we're not, what gets lost is that this nationally ends up feeding into the same old narrative. Baseball is old. Baseball is behind the time. And this whole conversation, it's great for us to talk about, but it feeds into this. Instead of celebrating athleticism, emotion, strategy.
We do that.
But look, we're talking about it again. And I don't know. I see both sides.
Because there was a dust up, and we have to.
But it just ends up feeding into this narrative that is not necessarily true. Because we work closely with the players and the teams, there's so many things that are worthy of celebrating and talking about, and athleticism, emotion, and this just feeds into just something that I think ends up being a tired conversation. And as I said yesterday, thankfully it's being weeded out. No disrespect, but your mindset, it's being weeded out, and
Don't tell me my mindset's wrong, Robert.
I'm not because okay. I didn't play.
But it's being weeded out because you're saying what you're saying.
Exactly.
No, but
things change.
So they get the players on board.
I'm just telling you. I would never disrespect your point of view because I never played. I never stood in front of thousands. But I'm just telling you that the new players that are coming up, it's changing and it's evolving. And things that you thought were egregious.
How many years has Mr. Keller been in the big leagues?
I'm just saying, things that you thought were egregious during your time, it's not that way.
Yeah, because you're saying it.
You want your 9-year-old throwing his bat like Tim Anderson.
No, but that's the point. We talked about this earlier. You said
if my son did that, we're going to the car.
Me too. And I'm getting.
If my 9-year-old hit a home run off someone. Yeah, if you want to throw your bat at your own dugout and fire up your own dugout, sure.
See, that's my point. We disagree, but that's okay. If you get 750 people of any walk of life in a room, they're going to agree about nothing.
I think for me, what I want to come out of this conversation is MLB, if you want to put that out there with Tim Anderson, cool, I get it. I thought it was cool. I did.
The consequence.
The 749 other ball players are not all on the same page. So can we get them all there? So when Mike Trout goes, let the kids play,
no, but here,
that we truly...
I know we got to go because they're telling us. But listen, I've always gone through, let me get through this lineup, let me get through this Major League game without ticking anybody off or waking the sleeping dog. And I think these kind of moments, and there'll be a few more this year, that you wake people up. You go in there in a respective city or a team comes into your home park and you just quietly kick their you-know-what. And you don't allow this exterior stuff to give a reason for a staff, a coach and staff, a manager, to give you another reason why they hate you.
Well, the Royals ended up winning that game. So, I don't know what that means, but whatever. There we go.